I know if I were a trans or non-binary actor on a Broadway tour who's coming to this city this year, I would not feel safe coming to Worcester.
Uh-oh.
With the rhetoric that...
Okay, what do you mean, uh-oh?
I would not feel safe coming to Worcester.
Uh-oh.
Why would you even say, uh-oh? You piece of junk. Imagine having all the power and the influence this guy has. And who does he pick on? The LGBT community. I invite you, Asmongold, to read up. The guy's name was Sam Nordquist. He was 24 years old. He's dead now. He was tortured. He was murdered. Never did anything wrong. Except have the fucking confidence, the fucking bones to fucking be who he is. But, I guess that's not good enough for you, Asmongold. He doesn't pass the cool check. That's unfortunate for him because he's dead now. I wonder if someone like Asmongold, seriously, I wonder if he is aware of his influence, and I wonder if he's sad or depressed or
this isn't
not terribly bright. This is 3 hours ago. There's, over 250,000 people have watched this. And hey, man, I support his right to think whatever he wants. He has a right to dislike people. He has a right to express it as long as it doesn't incite violence. But I would say that I'm more bothered by the fact that his audience is just so goddamn big. I don't understand.
You know what the worst?
I mean, I understand how perhaps you can like the guy's gaming content or World of Warcraft content or even his anti-woke content or whatever. But, I mean, we're coming off the weekend of learning about this story. This was in Atlanta. This was a story, it's the New York Times, but it's all over. A person killed in New York was tortured for more than a month. It was a trans man. The cops are saying that this is pretty much the repeated acts of violence and torture between December and this month. In my 20-year of law enforcement career, this is one of the most horrific crimes I've ever investigated. The facts and circumstances of the crime are beyond depraved. One of the people who did the torturing and murder was a sex offender who lived in this hotel. And while there is no definitive proof this was or was not a hate crime, they asked the police captain, said such determination has not been ruled out, nor has the possibility of more arrests. So they don't know yet. But I mean, let's just, for the sake of this conversation, assume that this very much probably was some sort of a hate crime, because this is the culture that people like Asmongold, in my opinion, I don't think it's intentional. I don't think he's asking or advocating for violence against people. I'm not saying he caused this at all. I think people should be responsible for their own actions. And this guy, I do defend his right to say whatever he wants. But I just, the amount of hate that is out there and the amount of cruelty towards the LGBT community, and how that, all you have to do is look at the news and listen to these people and stop treating them like jokes and actually just be fucking human for a minute. And you realize just how much shit these people are dealing with and suffering through. And to be someone sitting up there with all of this guy's money, all of this guy's influence, meaning Asmongold, and just go, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to make money off the misery of this community. Now, do I think this lady up here, whoever's speaking, is a bit of a goofy person? Yeah. I mean, she's going out of her way to be flamboyant and get attention, and, that's what she wants and that's what she needs to get her message out. And, she opens herself up to that. But that said, though, Asmongold, read the fucking room, man. You can have your opinion. People can support and respect your opinion, but what are you doing, man? You've got 3 million people who watch your shit. These people are dying. They're not coming for you, buddy. You can't be as successful as you have been so far, Asmongold, and not recognize that there are people on both sides of all these kinds of arguments that use these as wedge issues to piss people off and get constituents and folks mad that would contribute to their campaign or their PR. You must know that. And I don't think you have a responsibility to anyone but yourself. I'm not trying to shame you or anything. Not that my little channel could do that, but I'm not trying to make it like you are, because you have a big following, you have to be a quote good guy in my eyes. But could you at least think before you hit publish or post or whatever the fuck you do?
Hello, Council. Remember me from last week? Oh, you don't remember me?
She was the one that was wearing the glitter on her face that was orange. And then she had like the same beard pattern that I did, kind of. I do remember you. How could I possibly forget?
Dude, up until recently, you lived in a house with roaches, okay? Do you really want to be casting stones at this woman who's whatever, but you know what, whatever, you have a right.
Could it be because gender is a construct? I'm Anna, been a Worcester resident for 24 years. Tonight, I'm coming to you as Laddie LaRouge, otherwise known as Lady LaRouge. Tonight, I'm Laddie. When I'm in drag, I use he, they pronouns. And I am a proud and loud queer artist in the city. I am a local burlesque and drag performer, producer, educator, and historian. And I'd like to ask the council and Mayor Petty why you've ghosted us, left us on red, have not responded to our emails asking for a formal apology.
Oh, now, you have to bear with me because I have to bear with Asmon. This is the fake laugh he does, and I don't respect him at all, but I would respect him a little bit more if he would, I don't know, maybe his audience is like 12-year-old boys. Maybe they really buy this and think it's funny. And again, you can hate this lady, and you can hate everything she stands for, but for the love of God, could you at least acknowledge that this guy's full of shit? Do you really think this is a real, genuine laugh? So, it's like, I respect the audience more. And it's like, really, dude? But hey, if they buy it, they buy it, man. I love the WWE. I know it's bullshit. Maybe people know this bullshit too. I don't know. Here he goes. This will take a while, but let's enjoy the theatrical stylings of Asmongold. Look at
Oh, God.
It's tough, huh, Asmon? It's so funny you can barely eat. But that's the good trick. You cover your face so you don't actually have to do the performance. But you've already led with the laugh like this. Watch this. Here how you do it. And then see, when my hand is covering my face, I can take the mask down a little bit, right? That's the trick, in my opinion. Maybe he's really genuinely laughing, but I don't think so. But it's just an opinion.
Oh, jeez.
You know, what is it, buddy? What's bothering you?
Why could that possibly have happened?
This is my favorite part of this whole video, I think.
Who could have guessed?
Who could have goosed?
Worcester is home to world-renowned stages, the Hanover Theater, Tuckerman Hall, Mechanics Hall, who host touring artists from around the world. I know if I were a trans or non-binary actor on a Broadway tour who's coming to this city this year, I would not feel safe coming to Worcester.
Uh-oh.
With the rhetoric that...
Okay, what do you mean, uh-oh?
I would not feel safe coming to Worcester.
Uh-oh.
Why would you even say, uh-oh? You piece of junk. What do you mean, uh-oh? A trans man was just found murdered and tortured in Atlanta over the weekend. Uh-oh. Yeah, uh-oh. You cruel, uncaring piece of shit. Again, guys, watch the guy, don't watch the guy. No, I'm going to ask you, if you watch this guy, because I know there'll be people here defending him because you guys like him and all that. How are you defending this? How is this okay? You don't have to support all the trans policies and this, that, and the other. But they're still people, man. They're still humans, and they're getting hurt out there, and they're getting killed out there. And his response is,
uh-oh.
Oh, well, tough shit for you, you selfish fuck.
Rhetoric that's been allowed to fly in these chambers, I wouldn't feel safe. We need a public apology now.
Wow.
Get on it. Speaking of getting on it, I'd like to speak in support of item 8I that you, council, request that you, city manager Batista, commit and act on creating an LGBTI coalition and task force to address issues of queerphobia, specifically transophobia, as you like to say, Joe Petty. And
so they want the government to like set up a new coalition just to advocate for like what they want. I mean, I feel like that's definitely not like a task force. What is this, like SEAL Team 6? Like, what is this? This is crazy. Like, how do these people do this and not realize how alienating this is to average people? Like,
again, I don't know this guy's education. I don't know his engagement with government and how government works.
I really feel like this is it's. I think the biggest shock to me with looking at something like this is the fact that people that do it seem to have no self-awareness of how alienating it is.
Maybe that's because the people who do it don't think most people are as dumb or uneducated regarding the issues as you seem to be, Asmongold. check this out. This may be a surprise. This may come as a shock to you. It probably does, given how, I don't know, innocent you seem on all this. This is a list of the top lobbyists of the last year. That's how the government works, man. That's how we've all been trained to deal with government. They don't care about their constituents unless their constituents can offer money to them. Unless their constituents can basically say, you fucking do what I say or you're not getting the lobbying money, okay? So you're acting like this is some kind of, can you believe they're demanding a task force be set up for what they care about? Yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. They probably won't get it, and that's fine. But you clearly don't have a problem with the pharmaceutical research people saying, here's $31 million, government, do what we want. The insurance companies, here's $28 million, government, do what we want. Here's Zuckerberg, do what we want for $25 million. That, for some reason, that's not alienating to you, Asmongold. That's not alienating to you, most people. And if you were to say, well, no, Asmongold doesn't like that either. Okay, then make videos about that. Stop punching down. You goon, you fucking child, you fucking uneducated, easily manipulated piece of shit that's now going out into the world and using your platform to spread hate and cruelty at a people that, I'm sorry, but they've done nothing to you. You have been convinced they are the bad guy. Think about that the bad guy is one of the most marginalized communities on the planet right now. And you have been bamboozled and hoodwinked and Plymouth Rocked into thinking that they're the ones that are the problem, not the people that are giving the government fucking $32 million a year, in the case of the pharmaceutical companies, to set up their own little SEAL task force. That seems to have missed your brain pan, pal.
My ask is that this task force addresses the discrimination and issues in this council first and then expands to the greater Worcester community. Speaking of, I'd also like to support item 8J, asking for...
So this is how we got all those extra government employees, is people like this.
Yeah.
Not necessarily gay people, but people that we need a task force for everything. You need to have more people and expand the space. You know what? I bet if you do this for 40 years, you have the situation that we have.
What situation exactly do we have, Asmongold? The situation where we're gutting all these programs in order for the top 1% to get tax breaks? Do you think you're so uninformed. Do you think all of this is what it sounds like this guy believes? All of these institutions that are being chopped by Doge and Trump, or at least attempting to be, we'll see what stands up in court, but attempting to be, do you guys really think the savings of those particular bodies in government that cost money is going to be passed on to the consumer? Do you think your egg prices are really going to go down? No, it's to pay for the tax breaks for the top 1%. This is documented. The idea that he says, well, that's how we get where we are. Where are we? Where exactly are we? How are you suffering under the last 15 or 20 years? Certainly compared to the LGBT community, you're not. How are you suffering over the last 20 years by the fact that, there is a Institute of National Health? The only thing that might have bothered you for is because maybe they say, hey, you can't, cohabitate with roaches and rats, and thus that forced you to clean your fucking house. Maybe that was it, and you have a bone to pick with these guys. I don't know. And again, I don't have any personal issues with Asmongold. I really don't. I'm not here. I don't give a fuck. Start beef, whatever. I'm 53 years old. But I have a beautiful, wonderful, goddamn trans son. And I have LGBT people all up and down my family. And even if I didn't, I'm a goddamn human being who makes enough money that I don't have to worry where my next paycheck is coming from. And good and goddamn well, Asmongold does too. But so here's the point. People like us, Asmongold, and you're certainly way up on the pecking order compared to me. But people who don't have to worry about how to pay their bills, could you stop fucking muddying the waters and punching down at people that need, if nothing else, if you don't like them, their lifestyle, their quote choices, just ignore them. They're not hurting anybody. At worst, just ignore them. But at best, maybe stop making videos that communicate to your very impressionable audience that these people are the enemies. You want to send them to the enemies? Fuck, man. Send them to the health companies. Send them to the fucking pharmaceutical companies. Send them to fucking Meta. Send them to Comcast. Send them to the goddamn car lobbyists that keep us from being able to have energy efficient and less expensive public transportation. Use your fucking influence for something other. I mean, imagine having all the power and the influence this guy has. And who does he pick on? The LGBT community. I invite you, Asmongold, to read up. The guy's name was Sam Nordquist. He was 24 years old. He's dead now. He was tortured. He was murdered. Never did anything wrong. Except have the fucking confidence, the fucking bones to fucking be who he is. But, I guess that's not good enough for you, Asmongold. He doesn't pass the cool check. That's unfortunate for him because he's dead now. Is it Asmon's fault? Let's be clear. Of course not. But could he do better? Yeah, he could and he should. And he should fucking be ashamed of himself is what I would say. He won't be, probably. Maybe he will, but he probably won't be. But if you watch him, maybe you should hold your heroes to a higher standard because this is not it, my friends.